All right, welcome back to Backside Banter. I'm joined here with trainer Tom Amoss. Tom, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Hannah. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Let's get started. A lot of accolades to your name. I think of Grade 1 winner Serengeti Empress. Can you tell us a little bit how you got started in the industry?
Sure. So, back when I was in middle school, which was a long, long time ago, we're talking about the mid 70s, I fell in love with horse racing from the standpoint of handicapping and trying to learn, how to decipher performance off of past performances. So, I liked it a lot like that. By the time I was in ninth grade, I was starting to consider whether or not horse racing would be something that I'd want to pursue as a career. I was getting a little too big to be a jockey by that point, so that was out. And I took my first trip to the backside of the racetrack, and you know, this is how naive I was back then. I used to think that they just put all the horses in a gate and the fastest one wins. But when I went to the backside, I really got to look behind the scenes at all the details that go into getting a horse ready to prepare for a race. And I fell in love with that. So I knew even by the time I was graduated high school and was going to college that I wanted to be a horse trainer. So I come from a family of six boys, and I told my parents, I said, I'm going to train horses for a living. And at the time, I really thought a college education was, going to put me behind. I wanted to get to the racetrack and start working my way up in my apprenticeships. Uh, but my parents, told me wisely that, you can do whatever you want, Tom, but you need a college education. So I worked my summers at the racetrack during college and got my degree, and then went to work full time at the track. And by that time, I had really kind of figured out what I thought would be a proper avenue to, becoming a horse trainer. So I had it kind of mapped out. I keeping refer to it as my graduate school, uh, you know, and uh, and I got started. So I started in 1987, um, which was the year I got married, as a matter of fact, and I've been doing it ever since. So I feel blessed to be in a position I am right now, where I'm, in a position where I can get horses from a group like My Racehorse. These are top horses, top prospects, and I think every trainer, myself included, is looking to get the chance to develop those kind of horses. So it's a very exciting time for us.
That's great. I mean, we love to hear that, obviously. And to go off of Serengeti Empress and all your success, I think of personally the video of you guys winning the Kentucky Oaks, and hopefully I think we'll be able to show it in the background here. But you're with Haley, your daughter, your other daughter, Ashley, and then your wife, Colleen, and you guys basically fall to the ground. Can you tell me, kind of walk me through what it was like, when she made the turn and when you realized you were going to win the Kentucky Oaks?
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. The race went like we hoped it would go, in the sense that Serengeti Empress likes to use her speed, and she cleared the field. And when we turned for home, she took a challenge, and she fended that horse off. And probably with about 10 seconds left to go in the race, I knew I was going to win the Kentucky Oaks, and so did everyone else around me. And I got a little uh, push, like "way to go" from behind for one of my friends, and I fell into my oldest daughter, and I held on to her for support, and we both fell to the ground, and everybody thought that was planned, so they all piled on after that. So it was a great moment, and I'm sure for any of the My Racehorse people that remember last the Authentics Kentucky Derby as a highlight of what they've done in horse racing. This was my highlight, and we went to dinner that night. And as a trainer, I'm in bed by 9 o'clock typically. I haven't stayed out that late since college. I stayed out very late that night and celebrated the win. And you know, the next day it's back to work and back to trying to make everything go in the barn. So a huge moment for me personally, obviously business wise as well, and to share it with my wife and kids like we got to do was just a real blessing.
I mean, it's amazing. And again, I hopefully we'll get to show that video because it's hard for me not to laugh watching and want to cry at the same time. It's truly like my favorite video ever, watching a reaction. So it's really great to see. You do a lot of things on the side, Tom. You work with Fox and Ira. What's that like, being on air like that, but then also having a whole training job?
Well, I enjoy my time on the air, so I only do it part time. So, and I do it during the Saratoga meet, and I do it 2 or 3 days a week because it does take a lot of preparation. And look, training comes first. I'm a horse trainer. That's what I love to do. That's what I'm always going to do. And television it sits behind that. So, as long as it doesn't interfere with what I'm doing training wise, I enjoy doing it. But there have been times where the demands of that job have made it where I've just had to say I can't do it. I've got to do what I do training. I mean, this winter is a perfect example of that. I was asked to do it a few times, and so they're very, very understanding about that and realize that my job as a horse trainer comes first, and I'm appreciative of that. I love the people I work with on that show. They're all great people, and probably the question I get asked the most is, "What's it like working alongside Andy Serling?" And my favorite answer is that Andy is a guy that does a lot of homework and a lot of preparation, and if he can catch you on something that he thinks is not a good point as opposed to one of his good points, he likes to call you out on it. So you've got to be prepared when you're on that show. And look, like I tell everybody, every show needs a good villain, and Andy's a good villain.
I like that answer a lot. That definitely was maybe going to be one of my questions, so thank you for answering that. I know you have a lot of ties to sports as well, LSU football. I know your whole family's very into it. Would you say that's kind of your favorite hobby on the side, is cheering on LSU?
I do. I graduated from there. My wife graduated from there. We met there. Both my kids graduated from there. They're involved in sports now. My oldest daughter is the videographer for the Pelicans, and my younger daughter Haley works for the Breeders' Cup and does their PR and social media. So we're a sports family, and one thing LSU does, particularly if you're growing up with their teams, which the kids did, and which I did, and which my wife Colleen did, as well as if you go to school there, you develop a real loyalty. So yes, we enjoy that a lot. I enjoy all sports. I particularly love football. So LSU football, Saints football, those are important to me. And my other hobby off the racetrack is I like the stock market. I try to really learn how business works and how the markets work, and I enjoy following that as well as investing in the stock market.
You definitely stay busy, it sounds like. And I know you guys, part your time you live in New Orleans. I think I've seen a few pretty exciting costumes from you and your wife, Colleen. So those are definitely always exciting to see. Obviously, we're here to talk about horses. So I know here at My Racehorse, we're really excited to see a few of those horses make it into your barn. The 2-year-olds, the Not This Time colt we have, his name is now Can't Hush This. And then we have a Gun Runner filly, 63 caliber. So I know we've talked a little bit about how you're excited to work with My Racehorse, but what would you say you're the most excited about with these 2 new horses coming into your barn?
Well, any trainer will tell you that one of the aspects of the job that they love the most is having an opportunity to work with quality young horses and trying to develop them into an Oaks or a Derby winner. That's no secret. But getting to the point where you can get those kind of horses, and then finding out that you're going to, particularly with a group like My Racehorse. My Racehorse is the most influential ownership group in horse racing today, bar none. So to be a part of that group, to be on the team, is lets me know that I have a chance to maybe have anything out of either of these 2 horses, and I couldn't be more proud or more excited, as well as our team at the barn, to be working with these horses.
Well, thank you. We love to hear that. And then you also shared Empire. I don't believe she's in your barn right now, but she will be making a comeback soon.
That's correct. So I've been following that, and it should be any time that that horse is coming back into the barn, and we'll get started again.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to follow along with all 3 of those horses, and we're so excited to have you part of the team. Tom, you're a busy guy. I won't take too much of your time. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me on Backside Banter.
Thank you for having me, Hannah. I really appreciate it.
Don't miss any of the action in the My Racehorse stable. Subscribe today.